A little bit of C5 goodness. Let's crack on. Hello and welcome to another Mr. Betabyte video, and this one's a little bit different insofar as we're looking at a Sony Betamax C5. Quite a while since we looked at one of these, so I'm sort of quite looking forward to digging into this one, especially as it has a fault I've not actually come across for the C5 before, I have to admit. It's dead. Power supply issues. The C5 actually has a simpler power supply to the C7, it's sort of big brother. C7 has a switch mode power supply. This uses the more traditional transformer, then bridge rectification and caps and regulators, so on and so forth. This has been sent in for repair from Ben, and thank you very much, Ben. And my gut feeling is we're going to have a shorted cap across one of those rails after rectification. Yeah, I suppose let's take it apart and take a look. The other thing we'll be looking at as well before we do that is the remotes. It's a cabled remote, of course, and I believe it's the rewind. I'll have to check the email, but the rewind button isn't working properly, so we'll have a look at that as well. Let's crack on. Okay, so I'm going to take the door off first. I tend to just lift each side of the rubber just to get that off. I don't pull it right off. You can do, but I don't. Slide that off. Then we've got all these screws. So these are the long ones, which, if you ever lose them, they're quite difficult to find. Obviously quite unique to these machines. I seem to remember on some of them, two are short. We might be thinking of the C7. These two, some are long and some are short. I could be remembering that incorrectly. Okay, so there's the power supply. Transformers under there. Then the bulk of the power supply is here. Mains in. Mains selector and fuse in there. So I suppose we ought to check them. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is check the mains in. I would expect about sort of between 20 and 25 ohms. So straight across the plug, this plug really needs to go. Yeah, it's a bit intermittent. So 23 ohms ish. Yeah, that plug needs to go. So we'll be doing that. Let's check these fuses on the top. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Super. Let's check the fuse in the back. Bizarrely, there isn't one, which is interesting. So there's no mains fuse. Yeah, there's nothing in there at all. It's interesting. I do remember Ben saying something about it doesn't appear to be in circuit, which is a bit odd. I always thought they were, unless something has been modified with the wiring to make it that it's not. And obviously we've got the main switch on the front, which obviously is pressed in because we've just checked it. And yes, we have everything there. Let's just take, I think this should just lift off. And then unfold. It just sort of houses all the mains cables, so it's not against the print. So just take that off so we can get to stuff. So I've just done some quick checks. I've checked these two bridge rectifiers, they're fine, and I've just checked these big caps to see if there are any obvious shorts. They're fine. It's only just on the ohms meter, so it's nothing terribly certain on that, but initial checks, see if there's a dead short. A little bit of cable management here. We'll just unplug these, I think. Hopefully that should give me enough. To pull this back, or out, or somewhere. Oh, there's an interesting cable tie there. I just want to see what's going on with this fuse. So just having a quick look at the manual, I didn't realise I didn't have an electronic copy of the manual for this. I've never had to repair a power supply on a C5 before, but I have got this, which is invaluable for things like this. So yeah, it doesn't actually use the center fuse holder. It's just literally a voltage selector. The fuse is actually on the LF20 board. So mains in, goes to the LF20 board, and then to the voltage selector thing. Doobie, what's it? Selector. And then you've got the transformer. It comes around here. So that's cool. Glad about that. So yeah, interesting. So looking at the board, everything looks fine. To be honest, I think the first thing I'm going to do is actually change that plug, because that plug is making a terrible contact. So yeah, but I don't see any reason why this shouldn't work. So yeah, let's crack on. Okay, so let's check the plug, place your bets now. I'm actually assuming it's going to be a 3 amp. Yeah, it is. 3 amp fuse, that's so nice. Yeah, so I'm going to a bit of damage on that that connector there, but yeah, cool. So I'm going to change this, tidy up these cables, and got something sparked in there at some point. Shame, it's actually quite a nice plug. Yeah, you can see that something's gone quite fizzy in there at some point. So yeah, this has to go. Okay, so let's give this a test. I'm half expecting something to pop because I think it's going to be on another board somewhere. There's a short on one of the rails. But let's power it on, give it a test. Well, so far so good. Yeah, it seems to be working. Okay, well, I suppose we ought to test it. Okay, well, let's try a tape in it. So let's power it on. Hopefully we'll be okay. We are. Just in case. Okay, got our old favourite tape. Right, well, here we go. So, yeah, that's looking actually pretty good. Let's just turn the volume off on the TV. So, yeah, I mean, that seems absolutely fine. I'm still a bit confused what's going on with this. Surely it can't be as simple as that. But yeah, I think it's just literally a bad plug. And those loose screws, it's sort of arcing about, and I do wonder if those sort of smoke stains on the actual plug itself just signs where it has been arcing about so much. But yeah, let's try tracking. Furthest left, furthest right. Yes, it does sort of come in a bit on that side, but that's really good. This is actually a really worn tape. I use it a lot for these videos actually. So yeah, that's really good. So I think well, I suppose the next thing is to try the remote control. So apparently the rewind button doesn't work, so let's put it to standby. Plug in the remote. I think that goes at the top. It does. So put it back on. And wind forward. Wind back. Doesn't work. Okay, well, let's have a look at that. Well, I have two chips that are apparently the correct ones, so we'll see. So yeah, they actually came in twos, so if I break one, I've got another. Nah, it'll be fine. Let's crack on. One thing I am noticing, this bottom chip looks as if it's been changed. I think the top one has as well, but you can see the soldering's not great on that bottom chip at all. And in fact, it looks like a pad. Yeah, it's a pad to nowhere. At the bottom there is damaged. So this has obviously had problems before. There's my effort, which is looking pretty good. It looks like I've actually not soldered one of those properly, but I have. And there's just a bit of excess flux, but yeah, I'll probably clean that off just now. But yeah, let's give it a try. So we're all done, back together. I did put it back together.
Here's Roswell.
This could be a cultural misunderstanding.
Danny DeVito. It ain't unusual. And Annette Bening. From director Tim Burton. Mars Attacks.
Inca, the new fragrance from Lynx.
There used to be a few nights each month when I'd find it hard to sleep. I'd be restless, wondering if everything was all right.
Play. Pause. For some reason the pause light isn't coming on. I'm sure that was coming on. I wonder if maybe I have not put this together properly. Let's just turn this off. I wonder if I haven't positioned the LEDs properly. But that chip did the trick. That's really cool. There's a little bit of a guess because I don't have any service data on it, but I actually took apart a Toshiba remote. Yeah, LEDs are bent over. And compared it with this one, and they are just NAND gates. Still not very straight, so they need to be really perfectly straight. I can't believe I missed that. Let's put that back in. And from my understanding, I've probably got this totally wrong, and tell me in the comments, but they're 0, 5, 10 volts. So yeah, it's sort of all very standard across all of these wired remotes with these NAND gate chips. So as long as you get the right series, you're okay. I will put what chip I used above now, because we know they work. Yeah, there we go. I just missed to put the LEDs properly, so that's cool. Yeah, we're good. Excellent. And test rewind. Perfect. It's lovely. So, all done and dusted. So with that, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one. It was sort of quite a weird one with the mains plug causing all those problems. It's been, I mean, the machine's been on for hours now, and it's been totally solid and great. So I suppose I'll just give it a quick clean. Oh no, I've already done that. I've given it a clean. So we're good to go. So yeah, with that, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe as well. Really does mean so much to me. Thank you so much. And I will see you in another video. Bye for now.
Inca, the new fragrance from Lynx.